Hey friends, the puppies are behind me getting into trouble. But today is time for a full garden walk, June week 3. How is it June week 3 already? And look how pretty that is. Oh, that's my pride and joy right there. Not my pride and joy currently. Let me show you what they got into. What are the two of you doing? Let's show the people what you did. What is this? What is this? Bailey? Ugh. I had a bag of potting soil here that I used to pot up these guys right here. Cucumbers and melons. And I left it out here open. Yeah, you. Bella is chill. I let Bella out in the backyard. She likes to curl up on this little love seat and take a nap. Bailey's always looking for trouble. Yes, you are. Good thing you're cute. All right. Backyard, the deck is still rather intact, except for this dirt mess and this wood mulch. And I'm using this wood mulch kind of as I pull out spring crops. So I'm using it as I go a little bit. Oh, before we get over here I did pull apart that chamomile. That's the Marguerite chamomile. It's got buds on it. Those are going to be bright yellow. And I pulled it apart and trimmed it up and kept half of it over there. And I put the other half in here with some alyssum. Got some snapdragons in here. And I planted little baby lemon basils, which you can kind of see are coming up. And then I put some bee balm in here with that because my bee balm died. Has anyone ever killed bee balm before? Down in these 3 buckets here are the 3 tomatoes. These are the red robins, the ones that stay nice and small. I'm really eager to see how these go. I'm gonna have to look at them a little bit. I don't know if I should prune them like I do a regular tomato or not. I would think not, but maybe. Here I have got the strawberry gumfrina. And in the back I put some marjoram seed because my marjoram also died. Back here in this bucket I got lots of little babies coming up. This whole thing is Genovese basil and a couple aster seeds. And I'm really hoping that whole thing fills up with a giant basil plant because I did kill my basil early in the spring with all the weather fluctuations. I left them outside. Okay, big giant 16-foot bed. Honey, you are so pretty now. Let's start on top. So up here on the top, I've got tons of volunteer snapdragons everywhere, but these right here are the Benary Carmine Rose here. And then I've got some volunteer dill. Oh, it smells so good. And then I've got garlic kind of all through here, down the front. And then there's some tucked in the back. So it's kind of a hodgepodge. I don't like to take a volunteer out. Like, I did not plant this, and look how nice and sturdy that stem is. That's a good plant. I'm not going to pull it out just because it happens to be in the wrong spot. I'll make room for it. In the back I've got tomatoes, and I did go ahead, and these are tied off to this cattle panel, and I went ahead and pulled all the bottom leaves off. And then interspersed between them I do have some beans, tomato, bean, and the hope is that those beans will climb at the same time with these tomatoes, and they're a dried bean. So I don't need to get in there and pull on them and find them. I can just wait until the plant goes dead, pull them all, and then have dry beans in theory. In theory. Again, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Look at this. Garlic scapes. Okay, listen. If you don't know what garlic scapes are, you need to find out. Oh, I missed one right here. Look at this guy. Now, once they've made this curl and curl, this one's actually ready to go. You come in, you cut those. Oh, look at them. And these are actually kind of expensive to buy. It's one of the first things that, oh, they're so pretty. Look at this guy. All right, I'm going to wax poetic for a minute here, guys. The garlic scapes do come off, and you can use them. I use them to make a garlic scape pesto, but you can use them in a recipe any way you would garlic or even green onion, that kind of flavor profile. But if you just Google recipes with garlic scapes, S-C-A-P-E-S, garlic scapes, you will find things to do. but we usually just make a pesto with it. Oh, they're so cute. All right, well, I know what I'm going to do this weekend. Okay, right here in the middle, I have more Baneri Giants. And I did put these starts here, but I also added some seed because these starts don't look super great. These guys right here are Volunteer Snapdragons. That one looks good. And then there's some more zinnias. These are all Volunteer Calendula that have come back this year. And look, this one's getting ready to bloom. Ooh, it's gonna be red. That's a pretty color. Well, that's exciting. In the back again, same combination. Beans, garlic, beans, tomato, and then I've got a Volunteer Sunflower right here in the middle that I'm letting live. Beans, tomato. That's pretty much the whole back row. Tomatoes and beans with Volunteer plants. Calendula. The front is pretty much all these lovely scapes. Oh, and Volunteer Snapdragons and Calendula. Oh my goodness. Hello, garlic scape. Maybe when I make the garlic scape pesto, I'll make a video and show you. All right. And then back here in this corner with my garden geese, this is a big giant pile of calendula that's self-sowed. And so is this sunflower. And if you didn't see the video, I do trim the lower leaves of my sunflower, and that helps bring more sun into the things that are underneath it. I got some Baneri Giant zinnias here. I did plant a couple more sunflower seeds in here. I'm not seeing them come up. It's probably kind of dark in this corner now that things are growing. They might not come up. But this plant right back here, that is my center cut squash. I had planted a seed down here to match and it did not come up. So I replanted 2 more here a couple days ago. And I'm hoping that I get a pair of center cut squashes here. That would be ideal. All right, let's head down this row. This bottom is a little more sparse. These are all Baneri Giants. There's wine, and I think I threw another color out here, lilac. So hopefully those all come up here. These are those lettuces where I cut them off and sold them, and the tops are grown back just for little baby lettuces. Some of them work, like this one looks great. This one, not so much. This one looks terrible, but look, it's got little green coming out. Nature's weird. Nature's weird, people. Again, I've got volunteers in here too, calendula, snapdragons. I will leave those unless they get in the way of a plant. So you can see right here, this is the side where I have my Notapeno peppers. They're really small. If this gets much bigger, I'll probably come through and pull some of that out so that my peppers can get what they want. So this side is Notapeno peppers with lettuce and volunteers. And then all along the edges, I have nasturtium, and something's eating my nasturtium. Ugh. Dang it. I blame rabbits. Here's all my green onion. You're okay. Someone's shooting fireworks. Bailey does not like fireworks. And then I have got some aster seeds planted here. There's that new green onion. Doesn't that look good? And these guys are all going to seed. And I'll just drop the seed in here, or I'll put a little wedding favor bag over them and save those seeds and bring them into the house. And this side of the garden, I have got lots of lettuce left. And these bigger pepper plants are all banana peppers. Oh, something was nibbling the edge of this too. It's probably Bailey. It's probably my dog. Let's be honest. And then on the end over here, I've got some Salmon Janina asters. And I also have these look like weeds, but they're bachelor buttons that are coming up. Isn't she pretty? Let's talk about this back corner a little bit. I might redo this corner. What I'm finding is that I'm having a problem with birds. If you can see here, these pockets are way too high for, you know, normal creatures to come peck at them. They're coming in and they're eating these pea shoots and all of these beet leaves. So this one is all Detroit red beets. This one is all pea shoots. And it's got some beans on top, which I wanted to grow up this chicken coop. However, if I move them, I'm going to need to put this near something where they can climb. So I'm considering moving these 2 green stalks into an area that's more traveled, that's closer to the house where the kids are coming in and out by the back door maybe. I haven't decided yet because I don't know what's worse for them. The birds back here or the basketballs by the back door. I don't know. What's more damaging, birds or kids? So I'm thinking about it. I don't know if it'll happen or not. I am getting more babies coming in, but not too many. And I think my beet crop is again going to be a big fail. I'm going to try and do fall beets, I think, this year. We'll see. These buckets here are all full of herbs. A couple peas. Oh, look, I got a couple peas on here. Nice. There's a little baby pea. There's a little baby pea. I'm going to try and wind this around over here. Hope something doesn't eat it. Coneflowers. There's a zinnia stuck in the middle there. And then over here, this is lemon balm, which I wish you could smell. Lemon balm smells amazing. It just is a garden bully. It takes everything over. So I've just got it in a pot. Got some yarrow. And then up over here, I've got a nasturtium that something's eating again. Look at that. And some more lemon balm. Beautiful. And then down here, I put this little fence. I think Brent's afraid to mow now. But I've got these pincushion mixed flowers in here along the edge. I might have to come in here and do some kind of border to clean this up. But for now, it's okay. Because listen, this is a real working garden right here. Look at lemon balm growing out of nowhere. Look at my winter sow buckets that I should have planted and did not yet. Some things die because that's how it works. Right here. You remember last week? Was it last week where I'm like, everything is planted? Okay, here's the garden secret. If you are a gardener or have gardened at all, you know nothing is ever done. Gardening is never done. Planting is never done. There's always something. There's this project and my project in the driveway, and there's always a project. If you don't garden, you'll learn that soon. You're never going to get done. Take that expectation straight off the table. The deepest, darkest secret of gardening is that it never ends. It's kind of like laundry, but fun, maybe. This looks a little bit of a mess. There's some plantain down there, but this is anise hyssop. That's a calendula, some lemon balm. My goal is to kind of get this back area kind of green because I intend to open it up to the chickens. This is the chicken run. I've got some oregano here, some lemon balm. A lot of herbs are really good for chickens, and I want to let them run back here and be able to get green. But I got to get some things established first. Back here's all the kale. It's just massive. I love it. This is a great spot for kale. Got a sunflower back here. Again, nothing back here is growing really well. I replanted some trombone seeds back here. And then in here, there are some beans starting to pop up. We got a lot of rain, and I've been watering really good. I've noticed a couple beans coming up. You see that one down there? So maybe we'll get beans back here. I'm not certain. I did plant some down here that aren't doing anything. We'll just have to wait and see. I also have this crazy pea vine growing back here. Look at, I plant seeds 3 times here and I can't get a bean to sprout. But these peas that are on the ground under this bucket, they sprout and take off beautifully. Because why not? I did put a tromboncino squash in this bucket. No such luck yet. And then over here I have got just some random things. Some chamomile here. Random volunteer chamomile here. This is cat grass trying to grow. And then this corner is intentional. So I've got nasturtium all in here. And then I've got, this is another one of those center cut squashes. So my goal is to get 3 going. So I've got 2, and if I can get 1 more, that'd be fantastic. And this whole corner, these are climbing nasturtiums. They're all gonna go up this pole. I'll help them with some twine. And then they will go up and along all those beams up there. And that will be just lovely. These buckets have continued to live here because I don't know where else to put them. This is the chamomile that I came and plucked the other day. This one is Zloty Lan. It's a Polish chamomile. These 2 buckets are both Canterbury Bells that I started from seed this year. They are a perennial, so I'm not sure if I'll get flowers this year or not. Typically, when you plant a perennial from seed inside, it will grow and get green, but it won't flower till the following year after it's gone through winter. Coneflower and some anise hyssop and a giant plantain. All right. Right here, 16-foot bed, 2 foot wide. Let's start in the back corner. I have got some beans back there. Those are 1,500-year-old caveman beans. They're a dry bean. Again, they're in a kind of inaccessible spot. When I'm in my garden, I'd have to hop a bunch of stuff to get there. So that's a good spot to put dry beans because I can just let them go and let them dry out and eventually harvest them all at once. Down here, I have got, it looks like some volunteer Dara, which I'm really excited about. And then all those little things growing are all asters. I put a whole bunch of aster seed back here. And those big things back there are sugar pie pumpkins. So this is new this year. I've never grown sugar pie pumpkins in one of these beds. I have grown them back here before and let them go up, and I've put them in the big garden out front and let them ramble. I'm really excited to try them back here. This again was kind of a necessity. I used to do tomatoes all the way back, but last year I found that getting into this back corner was difficult as the tomatoes got bigger. So I wanted to put something back there that could grow and ramble and take the corner over, and I wouldn't have to get into harvest or take care of it on a daily basis. So dry beans, pumpkins, they just need to grow and harden and live on their vines. They'll be great there with some flowers in the front to draw some pollinators into that corner. And then I've got a parsley plant right here where the tomatoes start. This will be kind of the area where I can reach easily. I did put parsley seed around this plant. Parsley seed is notoriously slow to germinate. So I wanted to get an actual plant in there and then add some seeds just to help with the future of the parsley population there. Look at this lettuce, guys. Isn't she pretty? This is just a bunch of mixed leaf lettuce. This is where I sowed it super, super, super thickly, just rows and rows of it. Luca, my gardener, does this. There's a plane over my house. And then I'm going to come in and just shear off the top of it. It's so pretty. I don't even want to cut it. It's so pretty. And then right here in the middle is the volunteer Dara. Or wild carrot. Not wild carrot. It'd be a carrot that I left there because I did. And she's got aphids. Oh no. That's no good. There's quite a few blooms on it. They don't look purpley yet to me. But it's early. They could be. Oh my gosh, you dumb aphids. I don't like aphids. Ugh. All right. Tomatoes. I like to call my baby tomato trees now. The bottoms are all bare. They're up on the top. I've got flowers starting. I'll let flowers start to go now that we're into June with warmer temps. Anytime before this, if there'd been flowers, I probably would have trimmed them off. Look it. We got a baby tomato. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Okay. Moving on. Big tomatoes are all over here. This is the Paul Robeson that I planted. Remember I had a dead tomato here? It had gotten bent in a storm and the stem really never recovered. I pulled that out and I just planted this Paul Robeson right here. It'll catch up soon. I'm not too worried about it. And then I've got 2 more in the corner. And then where this leaf lettuce stops, I came in and sowed breakfast radishes around this volunteer lettuce that's sitting here. I've got some calendula. And then in the very corner, this is that perennial I rescued from Myers. It's a balloon flower. Pretty. This corner is shaping up really well. I still have this one little eucalyptus here. I'll probably pop some flowers in there with it. But look at these rubinato cosmos. Aren't they gorgeous? They're getting really big right here too. They really like this location here in the corner. I'm hoping they just kind of keep spilling out that way. Behind them, this super tall one here and this little one. Those are both anise hyssop. They will bloom a little bit later in the season and the bees love them. They will live there. They love them so much. Back in the back, I've got cosmos. And I got buds coming on those ones too. That's so fun. It's so fun because so many things are taking so long this season that to get blooms and buds just feels exciting. Down here is all those Minnesota midget melons. They're gonna grow on these little teepees. Looks like I've got 6 of them right now. I probably will come in and put seeds by any, like those back 2 don't have one, just as an insurance policy in case something happens to a couple. I did sow some seeds over here. I don't remember what they were. Guess we'll find out together when they come up. And then here is another perennial find from the big box store. That's a delphinium that I need to find a home for still. And that is the backyard, friends. This cold hardy garden back here makes me super happy. But it is also one of those things where gardening is never done, because none of this is going to be here a month from now. So let's look at what's there right now. Okay, the one thing that will be here, see all this down here? That's all calendula. And you can see it tapers off on the end. That's because there's a water spigot right here, so when it rains, it kind of overflows here. It does go into the garden blocks, but a lot of it spills right here, so not much to be done. I should get a garden statue to sit there is what I should do. All the edges are alpine strawberries. Got lots of little red ones. I don't ever pick these. They all just kind of live out here, and Ava comes out and snags at them. I do have a parsley tucked in here too, which is good because I'm going to need some parsley. Right in the middle, I've got the ranunculus still going nice and strong. I feel like you guys might be sick of ranunculus by now because I talk about them in every single video. But they're all so pretty and so different. Like, look at that guy compared to this one. It's like a star right in the middle. Ugh, they're super pretty. I just love them. And right behind them, okay, this is a mystery to me, guys. I've never grown cauliflower. This says it's a cauliflower, but look at, it's broccoli. But I swear to you, it's the purple of Cecily cauliflower. But it doesn't look like a cauliflower I've ever seen in my life. And it tastes like broccoli. And it looks like broccoli. And it cuts apart like broccoli. But it looks like a cauliflower. My family's divided. If anyone has ever grown purple of Sicily cauliflower and has some advice for me, that'd be great. This is the second one that we've grown. We ate the first one already. And then I've got quite a few by it, but they don't quite have heads yet. Let's stand up here and look back here. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. But they're nice and big, so I guess I'm assuming that they will get heads. The cabbages that are in the front are being decimated. I will probably pull most of these out. This one looks okay. That one looks okay. It's kind of starting to get a little head right there. This one doesn't look too bad either. Maybe just that one's really dying. That one is kind of in the way of that water thing. Maybe that's a bad spot. Maybe my garden statue needs to move forward. We'll see. Back here in the corner, these are all the celery. And I had the celery in this spot last year, and they love it this year again too. They get just enough sun here to grow, but not enough to mess with them. Nice thick stems. They've got 9 plants here. Interspersed in the back, there are some Brussels sprouts, which I don't know that they're going to get enough sun to grow. You can see they're kind of chintzy back here. There are strawberry plants, full-size strawberry plants in here. And I also planted seeds all along the side for climbing beans, scarlet runner beans. And then I planted some sunflower seeds back here. What we'll get, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Over next to it here, I've got 2 buckets with some zinnias. This one had tarragon, but it died. This has got French rosemary. I might plant some more herbs in there with them and see how those go. And then here is the other corner that has the rest of the ranunculus. These ones are all kind of fizzling. Even fizzling, they're pretty. Look at the colors. I'm totally doing them again. These giant sunflowers are waist high now. Somebody asked me what kind they are. My guess is that they are Fantasia, which is a Polish heirloom sunflower, but I do have other kinds that had multiple heads over on the other side of the fence, and birds take things everywhere, so it's possible they could be a different kind. I guess we'll find out. Back in the corner, that's the Dr. Witchy tomato. It's the only tomato that I don't have trellised yet because I don't have a trellis here. So in a video, maybe this week one day, I'll show you how to use that tomato string to just wrangle it up a fence. That's got to happen this week. And then back here, I did plant Kajari melons. I don't see any coming up yet, so I also planted some in pots as a backup insurance. That's the first part of the driveway. Okay, down the driveway, I've got the Mikado poppies in this bucket, and they were so small, I was so worried they weren't going to work, and look at them. They're beautiful. Hey, honey. I really like them massed all together in a group like this. This back here is the hugest cherry tomato. I'm waiting for these peas to kind of die back before I do anything with that. You can see these peas are all going yellow at the bottom. They're all making peas up here on top. And they're still flowering, so I'll leave them alone. But this is kind of the signal that these things are kind of giving up the ghost. I will probably give them some seaweed fertilizer and try and get them to get the last flush of peas out. But that yellow will continue to creep up, just like it did in that one. And this will be the last pea that this vine right here makes. So I'm going to try and keep them going, but I can tell the end is coming. When I pull all those out, I will go ahead and get the tomatoes that are there tied up, and I'll put some mulch down. I've got kohlrabi here in the front. This is a little orange tomato. This is a volunteer flower, and I didn't plant it. And it's already looking ahead, like a little baby sunflower maybe. That's a white night sunflower, and there is another tomato back there. Up here, this basket and the one over there are both the same. They are both tornado ivy geraniums with some peas in them. I'm gonna go ahead and clean these peas out and take them out. They're not doing well. This long thing right here, I believe it's 12 feet long, has pansies in the corner. And then I did empty this out of the spinach and the radishes, and I replanted something back here. What did I replant back here, guys? I think radishes. None of them are up yet. When they're up, I'll know what they are. And then I have not replanted anything in the front quite yet. These are all just little calendula babies. But look over here. One of the violas bloomed. This one's called Blue Perfection. And she is pretty. And I got another bloom right there. So I'm just going to leave these in the corners. They might overwinter if I give them enough mulch. Uh-oh, the dogs are going crazy. Do you hear them? I don't like it when people walk by our house. They have a lot of nerve. All right, over here, same situation. Peas are starting to go yellow on the bottom, but I'm still getting blooms. I'm going to keep getting them as long as I can. Kohlrabi here in the front. Little baby cabbage that I just tucked in there. And I do have a white night sunflower on either end. Back in the back, my tomatoes back here are smaller, but there is 4 of them, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4 back in the corner. So we'll come through and clean this up once those peas are done. And I do have this fully planted as well. Okay, I'm not sure how much you can tell from the video quality, but I am running out of light. So this side might go a little bit faster, but let's start in the front yard and work our way around the side yard. These front buckets are doing really well. I've got one here and one there. This is a hydrangea. This is a begonia. And these will get much, much, much bigger as summer continues on. And then I've got nasturtium planted in here, and they are gonna just spill out the side. Down here I had alyssum. It is not looking good. I do have more alyssum. I'll probably come back in and replant it. Same thing over here. Back over here, this is where all those crazy cucumbers and beans I planted are. And as you can see, I got nothing. I don't know what's going on. I couldn't begin to tell you, but I've got a backup plan now. I put that video up yesterday. I'm hoping that works out. Look how pretty the clematis looks though. All the way up. She's gonna hit the dang roof pretty soon. She gorgeous. She's so pretty. That almost makes up for it. Almost. But I want cucumbers. So over here in the corner, some kale, some sage, peony. Hi Ava. It's at the park. I've got these salvias here. The honeysuckle is doing really well. I did come through the other night and plant a whole bunch of seeds along here. A lot of zinnia and calendula. Just things to keep this thing done. Hi. Say hi to YouTube. We'll play in just a little bit. I'm going to finish this before it gets dark, okay? All right. Here is the honeysuckle. Doing really well, actually. I'm not seeing very many aphids at all. They all moved in the back, apparently. No, I think, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but aphids are very specific to a kind of plant. Oh, there's a little bit on there. So a honeysuckle aphid is not going to attach my carrots. Look what Ava found. Holy cannoli.
Those are ants.
That is an anthill. An ant swarm.
Those are all ants. Not even dirt. That's not even a speck of dirt.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was just dirt. And I looked around and
that is a giant swarm of ants.
no, next time we see something like that, we gotta grab a cup.
What are they doing?
Next time we see something like this, we gotta capture them.
I am.
Because
so
you still haven't bought me.
We're not going to capture these. These are wild ants. I will get you some ants for your ant farm.
Thank you. Finally.
You're welcome.
It's been like a year almost.
I know. It's going to be okay. These
I had that
ants,
for like 2 years.
I think, swarm like bees do. When there's too many ants and they need to separate, a queen ant will go on her own with her ants and find a new home. I think that's what's happening.
Her ants is every ant.
I know. That's a lot of ants. Get back in here. I've got some cosmos. And look at these. This is the penstemon. And I have never seen this before. Isn't it pretty? But it is small. I don't know if it's going to get bigger or not. We'll find out. I've got some snapdragons back in the back, and I planted some white vincas in here. Back here's the other side of my disappointment with my cucumbers and beans. I have one bean, and I have no sign of any other ones. It's just so weird to me. I don't know what's going on. In front I got all the lilies, calendula, yarrow, and then I planted some more zinnia here, and I planted some up in here too, but I just planted those the other day. This is an oriental poppy that I bought. I got this when I went to the greenhouse along with these guys. And then down here, whoop, look, these guys are all starting to shoot up flowers. The sedum, it's kind of buried underneath this coneflower. And this coneflower looks like it got some damage today, which is super weird to me. The ends all seem kind of curled up. Almost like it got sprayed with something, which is weird because I don't spray with anything, but maybe it was heat. I'm not going to jump to conclusions. Right here, see how yellow those are? This is a coreopsis. It's about to open up. I think it's called sunrise coreopsis. And I have some other baby coreopsis in here. I'm really losing light now, so I'm kind of going to go a little bit quick through this last row here. These are all sedum that are also flowering. The bees really like these when they get flowering. I've got some dahlias in here and the sweet woodruff. And then up in the top, those were all irises. Well, they're still irises, but I need to cut the stems down. I've got salvia back here, flowering. That's my sage bush. I've got these on either side are phlox. Those will be opening pretty soon. Oh, Boucher's rose bush. She's so lovely. Oh, daisies in front. And then I have lavender back here. These chive blossoms are all about done. And then in the front here, I've got that wild geranium and some more sedums kind of filling in. And these are really keeping the bees happy right now while everything else starts to open up. These are another kind of dianthus. A lot more pink with this silvery foliage. My thyme is flowering. And then the three big buckets. First one's got a dahlia. It's got dill, a salvia, and this is a cosmo called apricata. These are two different kinds of columbine. And then Cosmo. Hey there, girl. And the back is full of butterfly weed and a couple dahlias that I'm hoping to get going. Oh, I love lupine so much. What do you guys say? Do you say lupine or lupin? I've heard it both ways. It's nice. I've got some more seed for this that I want to tuck around the base of the plant to try and grow this out a little bit. Down here I've got some snapdragons, a shorter variety, and then the feverfews next to it, and look, it's starting to pop open. This is going to be so pretty. So pretty. Back there are the two dwarf sunspot sunflowers. They're kind of going over top of these dahlias here. Random cabbage and kale tucked in. And then giant mess of oregano with some more of that wild geranium. The bean teepee back there is coming up slowly. You can't really see these guys tonight, but there are, oh, there's a couple right there. A couple beans starting to work their way up. I hope that they can make it. Back in these pots back here. These are all, you can hear the baseball game in the house. These are all dahlias. And in the back are sunflower seeds, which are not up yet. Then I've got some pots with different flowers and herbs, just kind of tucked up in here in the corners, and a pot back there with sunflowers. Back in this last corner, here is where I've got some beans and some sunflowers that are not quite up yet, along with a tithonia, which is going to get huge. Now, I am losing this clematis. She's dying, and I don't know why. I think it might be too sunny right here. I might try and save her by moving her somewhere shady. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research there. Here is the Dara though. This is getting really big. With the begonias, the coneflower. Oh, and look at, here come the snapdragons. The volunteer snapdragons are gonna bloom first. Oh, they're so pretty. These ones are called Night and Day. Aren't they gorgeous? And I got a dahlia tucked in there. These are all volunteers. Look, all these are growing from this crack in this month. Isn't that amazing? Nature's so cool. All right. Garden row. These are all of the super tall coneflowers. And if I had to guess, I'd say we're about to get flowers pretty soon. Ooh, I got a bug. Oh, isn't that a potato bug? What's it doing here? Sorry, buddy. Oh, there's another one right here. What the heck? I've never heard of potato bugs on coneflowers, and I'm not growing potatoes this year, except for the one volunteer, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. In here, I got Brussels sprouts tucked in, and look, the sunflowers we planted really early are starting to get higher. This guy's probably about 2 feet tall. Lots of smaller ones. This Brussels sprout looks huge. As these get bigger, what I think I'll have to do is I'll have to cut some of the back leaves off and tie it up to the fence probably, if it makes it. It's already doing better than I thought it would, so we'll see. Okay, again, coneflowers, sunflowers, coneflowers, sunflowers, coneflowers, sunflowers. In this stretch, I planted some more sunflowers and some zinnia seeds. Here's a patch of zinnia, sunflowers, coneflower coming out of the crack, sunflowers, zinnia, Brussels sprout, random thing whose name I'm never going to remember to look up. Yeah. And then we have the garden. Here's our last stop of the night right here, which is good because I'm about to run out of battery and I'm about to run out of light. This mustard is flowering. I really need to get this to the chickens, or I'm going to be dealing with lots of little baby mustards. All these, I got some volunteer sunflowers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a couple. Here is all my cool weather stuff. A lot of it is really small still. This guy's getting bigger. I swear, these are those purple Sicily cauliflower. I even went and checked the seed package. I'm going to need to figure that out. They're all doing okay here. All my peppers look really good. I have got these little baby squashes coming up. Then my nodding onions. This is the only potato I have. It grew on its own, it's a volunteer. You can see all of the peppers are doing really well. They're not very big, but it hasn't been super hot. It's been weird hot. Hot and then cold and then hot and then cold. And then here, you're gonna see I've got some beans coming up. So I've got my rosa beans. And this back end right here, I have got whatever cabbages made it, which there's a handful. And then all along this edge are the onions. And the onions look fantastic. I'm really, really excited about the onions. We're gonna have to do some research on the onions, see how they go. Right here by my scarecrow, I've got 4 different kinds of zinnia. And then I've got a Swiss chard that volunteered. And the same pattern's gonna repeat over here. I have got 2 rows of beans with my big cabbages and my onions. I have got my squashes here in the middle, which I do need to separate still because I've got 3 in the one hole and I have not done that yet. And then peppers in the front with another decorative allium like that nodding onion I have. This front row, all these big bushy things are calendulas that volunteered. And then here are the garlic. And I am so excited to get these garlic into my house. Now, I did plant watermelon in here and it has not come up yet, so I'm not sure what to make of that. But over here, I did get a bunch of baby zinnias. And my dill patch is coming up really well here too. Can you see that? Oh, there they go. So kind of like having an area of dill all together. So this is pretty much set to go. The only thing I might add to this garden is some cucumbers, some bush cucumbers, probably around the scarecrow area. There's a lot of extra space around there that I was going to put some flowers in. I might add a circle of bush cucumbers in there. And yeah, but all in all, she's looking good. Ooh, this is how dark it is. The solar lights are coming on. All right, guys, the street light's on, which my mama always told me is time for me to go to bed. And I'm gonna follow her advice because mama is tired. We have a baseball game tomorrow in the morning, and then I'm gonna get back out in my mom's garden and take a look and see what she's got going on in her yard. But until then, you guys have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.